Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 6 of my Viking invasion campaign where I'm playing as the Irish. And boy oh boy, has it been a while. It has been probably maybe 2 weeks since I have played this campaign. I've just been so busy, and I think that my schedule is finally starting to lighten up a little bit here. So now we can kind of crack on into it and get some recordings in, get some gameplay in. So yes, it has been a while. I'm going to have to kind of refresh myself a little bit as to what is going on with this campaign. I do remember that I have essentially finished the war with the Welsh. I know they still exist. I know they're down here in Cerniu. And I have a boat that is leaving this sea province of Safer Mutha. And it's back here so that I can try to get that automatic ceasefire with the Welsh so that I can go back to trading with them. That's going to be very nice. And they actually have a decent amount of forces here to potentially kind of survive here for a while. They can potentially be kind of a little thorn in the side of the, is this the Saxons, I believe? I think it is the Saxons. Yes, it is. And now I do hold these provinces of, Gwent and Puis, and Clwyd. Yeah, and then these as well of Defet and Gwynedd, yeah. So the next target for me is going to be going after the Mercians, which are these light blue guys. And eventually what's going to happen, and again, I don't have a ton of experience with playing this campaign, but what I did see was that the Mercians did kick butt. They did essentially take on the Saxons and the Northumbrians at once and beat them both. And however, that was without me having a presence here. That was with me playing very slow and building up Ireland before invading the Welsh territories. And in this campaign, I have taken over their territories relatively quickly. So now I can build up a presence here on their borders, and I don't believe we are allies. No, we're keeping it that way because I want to make sure that I can attack them next. I want to make sure if they would otherwise become the strongest faction, that I make sure that's not going to be the case. So, yeah, what would be ideal in my opinion is if they ended up taking Peck Satan off of the Northumbrians here, and then I could essentially take these three provinces of Peck Satan, Rock and Satan, and Wiki. Yeah, love these names. Yeah, it's this is proper English right here. So if I can build a 3-province border here, that would be preferable. That can keep my upkeep on the lighter side as far as my garrisons go. So that would be the goal going forward. As far as what I would do from there, do I just keep essentially cutting a line in between this area here? I don't know. That seems kind of bad. That seems like I'd become a little bit overextended, but maybe not. Maybe what I can essentially do is have a garrison force in Mears, and then have that'd be my actual army here, and then I can have smaller garrisons and Rock and Satan and Lindesey, Wiki, Middle Sayax, Middle Angle. It looks like Mears does border a lot of these provinces, so what I can do is just garrison these provinces with just like one, or 2 peasants and a fortification, and then just having a main army that can, guard against any attack from any angle. So maybe it wouldn't be as hard as I think. Maybe that's going to be the play. And then from there, I can decide whether I want to go after the Saxons or the Northumbrians. I would assume at that point I would want to go after the Saxons just to kind of secure the south and then push north from there. That's the idea, just kind of a rough idea there. I do have a bishop and a princess, just kind of scouting out these territories to see what the Mercians have. And I do see some Fearedmen. Fearedmen's a pretty good spear unit. I think it is kind of an in-between between a basic spearman and then a little bit below the armored spearman that I'm able to train up. So I think they're kind of decent. And then the Mercians and the Saxons and the Northumbrians can all train up Huscarls, which is a very good, heavy infantry unit. So, yeah, it looks like the Saxons actually have a lot of armored spearmen as well. So that's good for them. Let's see what else I can see. Yeah, armored spearmen. They got some Huscarls here. Yeah, these are the bad boys. Pretty scary guys. So, yeah, the Saxons have them. Yeah, some more Huscarls down here. And what about the Mercians? I would assume that they would have some. I guess I'll find out if they have some here in Wiki next. And let's actually bring down my princess. She can kind of scout down here as well. Yeah, I'm not too worried about the Northumbrians. Looks like they don't really have... Do they have any Huskarls? Not that I can see. Yeah, not that I can see. And that's okay. So how about these generals for the Mercians? They have a 4-star urban militia here. Oswulf. What do you got, man? Scarred. Ooh, that's a cool one. He has been in the thick of things in battle and has some ugly scars as a result, making him look quite intimidating, +1 dread. And then Gentle Knight. Ooh. This man's adherence to the code of chivalry is the very stuff of legend, an inspiration to the troubadours and storytellers, +3 morale and -3 dread. Oh man, okay, so he's a decent general, isn't he? But he's in a unit of urban militia, and they have light armor, so they can be susceptible to my darts from my Irish dartmen, hopefully. And then, let's see, I can't look at him right now because my princess needs to actually arrive into the province. But what about the king? King Ethelbert the First. And yeah, natural leader, +2 morale. Yeah, that's not bad. 4 stars as well. So that's okay. So I do have some rebels here in Gwent that I need to clean up. They have a 3-star general, which is not bad. They also have 2 units of Celtic warriors, not bad. And I think I probably need to bring some soldiers down. I don't think I have... Yeah, I don't know. Kerns are really good. I mean, yeah, using their javelins against the lightly armored Celtic warriors is good, but I kind of want to bring down some Gallowglasses that can actually beat those Kerns. So maybe that's the play. Let's bring down some Gallowglasses. You go down, and I think you can go down as well. And that should be fine. That should help me beat those rebels. Yeah, that should be fine. So I will be building a fortified, is it a warrior's hold, I think? Yeah, warrior hold here in Clwyd and Gwynedd. It's going to take 1 turn for that to be built, so then I can garrison these provinces. It looks like I can assign a governorship of Gwynedd. The Prince of Gwynedd, all right, +1 loyalty and +1 acumen. Do I have a 4-star sitting around here somewhere? Here you are. Okay, well, Eilil of the 9 Hostages. Wow, what a name. Holy shit. Yeah, you, Eilil. You can be my Prince of Gwynedd. Puts it up to 125 florins. Maybe put these taxes up a little bit. Make a little bit more money there. And yeah, I should look at that in other places as well. Maybe do, bring that to normal and then bring this up a bit. And yeah, that's fine. How much am I making? Making over 1900. That's not bad. And I'm sitting on 30,000. So yeah, I should just be pumping out soldiers at this point because then I can quickly build up. Essentially what I want, I suppose, is at least at, full stack in each of these 3 provinces so that I can attack into these 3 provinces. That would be the goal. And, maybe even better, maybe even 2 full stacks. Yeah. 2 full stacks, bunch of agents, bunch of siege equipment because I am building another siege equipment building here in Brega. I think this is going to allow me to build mangonels. Yeah, this is a good siege equipment. And I am training spies here in Connacht, and I do want to have a spy in every province just to increase the loyalty of my people. And then other than that, let's see. Yeah, I'm training soldiers, I'm building boats in Brega, and I'm training soldiers and pretty much everywhere else. Yeah, I'm full steam ahead here. Looks like it. Yeah, good. And let's get some more peasants going so I can fully garrison Defet and Puis and all of these other places here. And let's see, emissary. How's my royal family going? Prince Dermot is my next in line. 16 years old, so perfect. That's what I like to see. Nice. So where are you? Are you here? Yes, you are, and you're not married. You're plenty loyal. 2 dread, 2 command, 1 acumen, and natural leader. So +2 morale. That's good. So he can lead in battle if I want to do that with him. But he's not married, and I just happen to have an emissary right here. So let's find a wife for him. And what perfect... there's some Welsh princesses. Let's see if Princess Margaret will be the wife. Yeah, there we go. Maybe we can smooth things over with the Welsh there. We are now ready to take back Gwent from the rebels here. I got Lord Diremaid fighting off against Enyen Ep Dyfed. So my guy's only 1 star, and I am fighting up against a 3-star general, but I do outnumber them by a bit. And I think my troop composition's adequate to get the job done here. Here we are in Gwent, and the first things first, I have to find the enemy army. I know that the enemy general cannot hide, so there he is. I see him off in the distance, but I don't know if I could see him at this point, so I was sending my horses to go scout up in this direction, and I will be sending these horsemen out in this direction to scout this way. And eventually my army will be taking a position on this left flank to work their way down towards the enemies. I now have full vision on the enemy army. There's spearmen up front and there are 2 Celtic warriors in the back. I have my 1 unit of horsemen who's finished scouting the woods on this side, and he will be moving over to get in a flank position. And this horseman is going to be moving back as well to kind of lure the enemy forward. And in this situation, I do kind of want to fight on a narrow frontage. It is sometimes tempting to get a flanking attack, and essentially you'll be forced to fight an uphill battle with your flanking force. And that's not usually ideal. I do go back and forth on it though as well though, because essentially forcing yourself to fight on a narrow frontage is kind of like fighting in a, like a choke point battle as well. You do want to use a flank if you can get one, but it's tricky because having your men fight uphill is not ideal, as I said. So I will be kind of staggering my men so that my front units can essentially take the charge and my back units can get a lot of tosses in with their javelins. At this point, I do decide to move down my other unit of horsemen to provide a little threat on the flank here. And this is where I probably should have moved them up a little bit closer to get, obviously a closer attack. However, I didn't want them to get attacked by this unit of spearmen, but I probably shouldn't have cared about that just because even if the spearmen do attack my horses, I can just have them, run away because they're a lot faster, of course. But yeah, you will be seeing pretty shortly just how steep this hill is and how slow my horses get up this hill. But now the spearmen are moving forward and they will begin, taking some shots from my kerns. So these gallowglasses move into a wedge formation and they will be charging into these spearmen, and they take a big volley. Man, they lose 18 men on that one volley. Holy shnikes, that is a lot. And then my gallowglasses charge right in, and they can make relatively short work of these spearmen, ideally. And then the kerns can stop running away, and they can start throwing some more javelins in. And now we have Celtic warriors coming in. These bad boys, these are going to be a lot tougher to deal with because they have really good stats. And my gallowglasses are taking a surprising amount of damage from these spearmen. That must be from the general's boosts. The fact that he's a 3-star general, I think, is making this a lot closer battle than it should be. In any case, I will be sending my gallowglasses to take the charge of the Celtic warriors on this side, and we'll be moving my kerns up as well, and then another unit of gallowglasses to support this fight. And then these kerns, my general, can help throw some javelins in here. But as you can see, my left flank is getting very, very thin where their general is helping out, and it's taking forever for my horsemen to get up this hill. They're running as fast as they can, and they're just moving so slowly. So yeah, I probably should have moved them up behind their army sooner, but yeah, it looks like they've basically cut through my entire unit of gallowglasses, and now I'm being forced to send my kerns into battle on this side, while my general stays back and continues to throw javelins in at the general's unit. And now my guys have finally gotten in on the flanks of these Celtic warriors, and that is going to be enough to break them, and that's going to be enough to cause these guys to run away as well. Very, very bloody though, all things considering, the advantage that I had in this battle, that got pretty close. With the way that those Celtic warriors were cutting through my army, yikes, that was getting a little bit scary there. That went okay, albeit a little bit bloody. Yeah, those Celtic warriors are not to be trifled with, aren't they? They cut through a lot of my guys, they sure did. The fact that they outnumber my gallowglasses by 40 men is something that I do need to keep in mind. I mean, it's not that I forgot that, it's just that, that 40 men does go a long way. And dear oh dear, did my cavalry take their sweet old time charging up that hill. I get it. That is a very steep hill though, and it's something that does catch me off guard sometimes when I do play these games in Shogun and Medieval. Charging uphill is tough, and it's something that I do try to avoid, obviously, but yeah, sometimes you just can't avoid that. Maybe it's even better just to kind of like get my cavalry all the way around, like when I see the enemy charging at me, to spend that time and to get my cavalry you know, just literally right behind them so they can kind of charge downhill from the hill that they had behind them. Maybe that's going to be the play, and that's something that I should do moving forward. So in any case, though, Gwent is now mine. Now I can get started with utilizing Gwent. I believe it does have steel or iron, so that I can use it to build a armor and a metalsmith, I believe. I'm just going to release the rebels so that I can try to maybe get a mercy trait here. And yeah, I believe actually this general that I used, Onion Ep Dyfed, I believe that he is the governor of one of my provinces, maybe Connacht. So if he does get a mercy trait, perhaps he can get a trait that raises the happiness of his people. So let's just release them all. One of my princesses has retired. She has become a spinster. And then, let's see, the picked leader has died from an illness, but he does have an heir to take over for him. Watchtower finished here in Poise. Now I can move on and build a border fort there. And the fort has been finished here in Leyden. And I'm not sure what I'm going for here in Leyden. I'll have to check out that and see what my next move is there. Perhaps it's to build another religious building so I can get +2 or maybe perhaps +3 morale for my Kerns that I'm training there. Maybe, I can't quite remember. And then Warrior Hold finish here in Gwent, and then Cluid as well. Bonnet has the Body House, which I believe is my building that gives +2 Valor Spies, I think. And then yeah, here's a Warrior Hold in Cluid. Prince Flan, Perversion, -4 Piety. And then Prince Donchad, Great Builder, +1 Happiness and +1 Loyalty. Good for him. Let's lower the taxes here in Gwent to try to make sure that they do not rebel here. And let's just go right on with a Warrior Hold so I can garrison this place. And do I have anyone here? Gwent is going to give +1 Loyalty, so let's see, do I have anyone here who has at least 4 acumen? You, sir, Con O'Brien. 4 acumen. You didn't fight in the battle, but you do have the 4 acumen, so there you go. 44 income, okay. Doesn't really matter that much, but you know what? That's okay. Every little bit helps. It does say here that I'm still at war with the Welsh, and that is a little bit annoying because I am not bordering their provinces, and I don't have any ships bordering their province either, so perhaps if I wait just one more turn. I think that I do remember that it kind of takes one more turn like longer than you'd think, so unfortunately I will have to wait here before I can bring my boat back in. So hopefully one more turn is all it's going to take there. Let's see, how's the Mercians doing here? Still not a ton of Huscarls. Okay, that's not that I'm seeing so far. Yeah, the princess that did become a spinster was the one that I was going to send to Lindisi, so maybe if I can send... Yeah, I'll just keep moving around with these folks. And yeah, the bishop, you can you can go to Mears, that's fine. And I'm going to hang on to this little title here, the title of a champion or Kurad, the +1 command and +1 loyalty. This is not for a governorship. It's just literally to boost the stats of someone. And I've mentioned it before, but I do want to keep my generals mounted. That is something that's going to be very important to me. So there's no real point in me giving this to anyone else, honestly, because yeah, other than like the random battles that will be led by like a Kern in this instance, my 2-star Lord Tog. But yeah, going forward into my main primary battles, I do want to have mounted generals. Like mounted nobles would be ideal, but just even if I just have to use like a horseman as a general, that would be fine as well. Here we are. That's what I like to see. The Welsh and myself are no longer at war. So let's bring back my ship. And you can go here. And actually, in fact, you stay. So you stay. And then you two can go forth. And yeah, let's go back to trading with the Welsh now that we've kicked them off of their, home territory. In addition to that, I did see that the Mercians and the Saxons are now at war. And that's what I want to see. So hopefully the Northumbrians jump in as well. I kind of want there to be a big brawl here between the 3 places, the 3 factions, and then yeah, hopefully I can kind of pick up the scraps. That's going to be, what I want to see going forward. And yeah, hopefully, I mean, It's going to be a little bit awkward if I'm wrong and the Saxons and the Northumbrians kind of take on the Mercians. Then I don't know really what I want to do. Perhaps, yeah, because I don't want to go to war with more than one faction at the same time, right? So I wonder if perhaps if the Saxons are starting to take on the Mercians before I'm ready to like dive into the middle here, then a safer route would be for me to go down to Cerniu and finish taking out the Welsh and then just kind of move into the back Saxon territory and start attacking their lowlands here while they still have like pressure from the Mercians if the Saxons are winning that war. However, if the Mercians just kick butt, then I should probably stick to the plan and try to attack these provinces. Hopefully, again, as I was saying before, hopefully the Mercians like take this off of the Northumbrians so I can have a really easy 3-province border. Although it wouldn't be that shabby if I just had Wiki and Rock and Satan and Clwyd. Like, that's also fine, I suppose. Here we go. Now that the royal palace is finished here in Ulster, I can finally start training up some royal freaking bodyguards. This is going to be some good heavy cav units. These are only 20 men in a unit, so this is like the same unit that my royalty, my royal family does ride into battle with. But still, the fact that I can finally retrain these units, that my heirs and my king are in, and that I can train my own units to, you know, form up my own heavy cav contingents, that's going to be very, very good for me. And I also can finally train Bonnex as well here in Ulster. And this is going to be a good infantry unit as well for me. And man, what do I want first? Royal Bodyguard seems really good. Let's get a few of these guys going. Yeah, it's going to be tough. I do want to be able to train them in more provinces than one, though. That's for sure. But for now, let's get them going there. And let's use this opportunity to train up any injured units. I think that I do have a family member that could use... Yeah, you here. Prince Donchad, let's get you up here to get your unit trained up and get back up to snuff. And that should be good, yeah. Yeah, that's a good move for us to get those guys going. And what I want next in Ulster, now that I can essentially train like the units that I really want to train, Royal Bodyguards and Bonnex, what's next? Gosh, do I want to... What else can I train here again? How do I get the mounted nobles? I think that's going to be the 40-man unit of heavy cav. Yeah, I'd like them next. Well, it does turn out that I will need a keep to build up to the buildings that will allow me to train the mounted nobles, and that's going to take a little while to get the buildings I need for that. And considering that Ulster is a province that can potentially have that blacksmith and that armor built, or should I say the metalsmith and the armor, and I haven't done that yet. I've just kind of raced up to be able to get these the royal bodyguards and the Bonnex here, so now it's time for me to kind of fill out and get those buildings that are going to make those units really, really powerful. So yeah, let's kind of go back to Ulster, and I need a blacksmith first. This is kind of a low-tech building that allows me to build those buildings, the armor and the metalsmith. So yeah, let's get this going here. And I can fill out and get some really good armored and, upgraded weapons for my Bonnex and my royal nobles. Now my king is dead, but I do have a young heir, so that's okay. And an heir matures, okay, Prince Donnell. And he's now my faction's only heir, okay. Silver mine is completed. And a metalsmith has been completed as well. Border fort's finished here, and yeah, here we go. So it looks like the Welsh, okay. So I was trying to get a marriage proposal with the Welsh anyway, but my emissary was taking a sweet-ass time. So looks like the Welsh have gone ahead and made this easy for me. So Princess Gwendolor is going to be married to King Dermot I. Yeah, so I will accept that. Yeah, he needs a wife. He needs a wife, and he needs to start making some kids. Because even though Prince Donnell is my next in command, I assume he's his brother, and he's not going to be too far behind him in regards to age. Oh no, yeah, Prince Donnell. Yeah, he just came of age. So how is he? Secret Pride, so -1 command, +3 valor. And then Killer Instinct, so +2 Valor, +1 Dread. So probably a pretty good fighter by the sounds of it, but not such a good commander. He's only 2 stars. Yeah, so not a big deal. Settling the Broad. Honorable Warrior. +1 morale. Okay, looks like you're just a peasant, maybe. Let's check this guy out. So yeah, 3 loyalty. That's not really great. 4 dread, 3 piety, 2 command. So I will be having him hang around his new king until he becomes better. Actually, shit, where's my king? Where's my king? My king looks like he was placed... where is he? You're in Legen, okay. Come up here and hang out with your not-so-loyal brother. Here's my old friend, Prince Donchad, although as you can see, he goes by a different name now. He is no longer part of the royal line because he's not in the, he's not next in line to be king, so he's not in the line of succession. And that means that he can be granted titles. Yes, and he's a 4-star commander. He's a skilled attacker, so he gives +1 command when he's attacking, so 5-star command when he's attacking. And now I finally found my guy who I will give the office of champion. Crud. +1 loyalty, +1 command. Yeah, let's go. Let's give it to you. So 5-star general, 6-star general when attacking. And he is going to be my linchpin. He is going to be my general here in Poise. And he will lead the eventual attack on Mears. And yeah, they seem to be really building up on my border, don't they? That's kind of nerve-wracking. Although it could be seen as building up on Northumbria's border. I guess at this point, the idea is to appear stronger than the Northumbrians so that they get attacked and not I. They are fighting the Saxons. Although it seems like they're doing okay. Yeah, the Saxons have been pushed back a little bit. Yeah, gosh, the Mercians do so well, don't they? So let's just kind of keep seeing. And yeah, what lands do the Saxons have left? I mean, gosh, they have this province of Defnus. And we will see. I mean, yeah, the Mercians are doing well. And this war has only been going on for like a handful of turns. So yeah, it's kind of nerve-wracking. And the Northumbrians, yeah, they are staying out of it. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they've been doing okay, I suppose. Just kind of hanging on and building up, which is good for them. Hopefully they can build up to the point where they can have some Huskarls, which will allow them to compete against the Mercians. But I would like to get involved here before the Mercians take on, like, the entire south. Like, once they've taken off the entire south, then it's going to get a bit harder for me, but I'm not quite ready to take them on. I mean, especially the fact that they have a 4-stack here in Rock and Satan. That is a lot of power, so I'm not quite built up and ready to take that on. Although, if we take a look, I mean, what is it really? 1 Huskarl here and a bunch of Feardmen. More Feardmen, and mostly more Feardmen. So, I suppose that my Gallow Glasses could do a good job against them. And then again, maybe it's time for me to start getting some Bonics out on the field. Yeah, I think so. It's a 100-man unit, I think. Yeah, 100-man unit and support cost of 25. And a construction cost of only 25 or 250. Since the time of the great hero tales, the spear has been the preferred secondary weapon of the Irish warrior. Thrown at short range as the unit closes for battle, its effects on the enemy can be devastating, giving their charge a double punch. And yeah, they are a good unit. They're not spearmen. They throw that spear. But they're not really like javelin men, because I think they only have 1 throwing attack per guy in the unit. So it's a stronger attack. It's a lot stronger than the javelin. But there's only, like I said, 1 shot per guy. So it can be devastating. 100 spears thrown at a unit can, be pretty powerful. And then they fight well in melee. They're not, as I said, they're not spearmen. So it's not that, like spearmen typically suck at fighting against sword units. This is a sword unit. They just have this giant-ass spear that they throw at you first. So they can be very good for punching through the armor of Huskarls or armored spearmen before they get in there and tear them to pieces. So, yeah, I should be getting these guys going here in Ulster. And now I can finally start building the armor and the metalsmith for that +1 armor and +1 attack here in Ulster. Oh, bummer. Okay. So the Northumbrians want to roll. Okay. A little bit unexpected, to be honest. How are we going to do here? So, I kind of like what I'm seeing so far. They do outnumber me by a bit, but they are attacking me with their leading army having 3 units of peasants. 4 units of peasants. Ugh, yikes. That's not great for them. And then, yeah, the reinforcements include 2 more units of peasants. What else? So they do have 6 units of woodsmen. That's a peasant-level unit, essentially, with a great axe, so it can do some armor-piercing damage. But that's not really effective against my army, because typically, I mean, I don't have a lot of armor in my army, so that bonus versus armor that their axe gives them is not going to give them much against me. 2 units of archers, and then a 4-star general, which is a royal bodyguard unit. This is going to be their most dangerous unit. And then what do I have? Unfortunately, for my general, yikes. 1-star general, a unit of gallows glasses, so that's not good. But as far as my units go, I mean, gosh, I have a lot of gallows glasses. And I have quite a few kerns. I have some Irish dartmen. And I even have a unit of armored spearmen, and then a unit of regular spearmen, and 3 units of horsemen. 2 of which have armor upgrades, and 1 of which has an armor upgrade and a weapon upgrade. That's not bad. And then the 2 ballistas for good measure. I probably will not use them in this battle, although it could be kind of fun, potentially. It's not a unit that I've used a lot in so far on this channel, because it is pretty bad. However, if I can snipe some men off of this unit of royal bodyguards, that could be useful. It does take up 2 useful slots in my army, which is not great, but I mean, if I need to, I can just withdraw them and bring some more useful units on. And the fact that their army is not great makes me think that maybe I can bring these ballistas on just for fun. Typically, the thing with them that's a little bit counterintuitive is that you kind of need them on flat ground and or a low hill, not a steep hill, because they do not angle themselves down to shoot down that hill very well, which is really stupid. That's like, that feels really wrong. But yeah, that's typically how it is, you know? You might think like, yeah, get the ballistas on the steepest, biggest hill, but no, they can't shoot because they shoot flat. They shoot straight, so it doesn't work like that. However, looking at what I can see here of this terrain, this looks kind of perfect, doesn't it? I mean, it looks kind of flat with low rolling hills, and that might be kind of the perfect spot for a ballista. I think I want to try it out, just for fun. Maybe I can actually snipe this prince here that I will be fighting up against. But I like my chances against the Northumbrians. However, it's going to be interesting to see if the Mercians want to dogpile in on this and actually kind of go after me, or if they want to take advantage of the Northumbrians. It's going to really come down to who comes out on top in this battle. I've decided to take a position on this little corner here, and right off the bat, now this is before the battle starts, so I cannot actually see the enemy at this point, so I didn't know I was going to be facing this way. But I thought if I take a corner position, that would be good for me, having my artillery essentially split so that the enemy cannot attack both pieces at once and shut them both down at once. And now that the battle has started, I can kind of see how this piece is going to be sort of out of position, way out in front. But you know what, as long as they can get some shots off before I have to retreat them, that's going to be okay. And I will be shuffling my unit to get into position here. In the middle, I will have my armored spearmen with my 2 units of dartmen. And then on the flanks, I will have gallows glasses and kerns, and then 2 units of gallows glasses and 2 units of kerns on this side as well. And the horsemen, I'm not quite sure what to do with right off the bat. I don't know if I want to play defensively or offensively. I know that they do have a lot of units, and I might need to use them to plug some holes, especially considering the fact that I did, essentially, quote-unquote, waste 2 unit slots on ballistas. I might need the horsemen just to basically add some width to my army, so we will see how that goes here. And as soon as the enemy comes into range, I will start unleashing upon them with my ballistas. It is worth keeping in mind that artillery pieces do cause fear. However, for that fear effect to come into play, I believe that they do actually need to be causing casualties. So just by shooting in the actual direction of a unit, I don't think is enough. I think it actually needs to hit. And I don't think it has hit anyone so far, even though there's this just big old blob of infantry and cavalry. Yeah, I don't think that this unit of, let's track this shot. And yeah, it's just, oh dear, it's just so wacky. On this side, I have my left flank that has sort of taken up a little flanking position on this side. And I think, yeah, this artillery piece is still out of range. Yeah, quite a bit out of range. But the nice thing is that it is offset. So the nice thing is that we'll be able to continue to shoot quite a ways after this unit is going to be forced to retreat, which is going to be pretty soon here. In fact, has it killed anyone yet? Is there any bodies on the floor? I don't see any. I think it is shooting at the Royal Bodyguard by now, and yeah, swing and a miss. Will it get one more shot off before I force these men to run away? I'm trying to reposition my right flank here to get in position, and I kind of fumbled this a little bit, so yikes. And let's see, it got one kill. Yes, it was able to snipe one of the Royal Bodyguards before I'm going to have to run them away, I think. So let's see, one more shot maybe? Yeah, and now they're running away. And then my Kerns will start throwing some javelin into the spearmen. Now on this side, I will be forced to take a fight against peasants and woodsmen with my cavalry. Honestly, not the worst fight for them, so I will be okay there, I think. And then, yeah, Gallowglass is charging the spearmen. That's going to be good for me. Kerns throwing their jabs. Ballista running away. And then I'm able to cut off the Royal Bodyguard with my armored spearmen, and they took a huge volley from my javelins, and they're down to 7 men immediately just from all of the javelins pouring in. Now they're pouring in all their peasants here as well, and all these dartmen are tossing as well, so that's going to be good for me. This side gets tough though. Fearedmen and woodsmen fighting up against my 2 units of Gallowglasses apparently goes in their way, and then the woodsmen are cutting through my dartmen, which is a tough fight, but they are giving my dartmen on this side valuable time to throw their darts into the Royal Bodyguard, which is down to 4 men, so that's, going well for me. The forces on this side of mine are getting pretty thin, but my horsemen are winning their fights, which is very good. And then, yeah, just enough, my center is just holding long enough for me to get some javelins in. They're down to 3 men, and yeah, these javs, and yeah, I think my guys are out of javelins now. Perhaps they're going to charge in, I think, maybe. And we are getting a lot of damage done. On this side, yeah, it's getting a little bit precarious for sure, but again, yeah, they're getting a little bit thinned out, and I think we may have just killed, yeah, we just killed the Royal Bodyguard. The enemy general has been defeated, and that's going to initiate a full break on the entire enemy line. And we have plenty of horsemen to get a good chase in here. 15 horsemen left in this unit, and then 30 horsemen left in this unit. And the nice thing about the Irish infantry is that it's pretty light, and you will see here that they do a pretty gosh darn good job at running down the enemy units here. You see my Kerns getting right up in here with the spearmen and doing a really good job of cutting them down. Well, my horses are busy running down archers, and that feels really good. It feels good being able to, do some damage with more than just cavalry. Once the battle's over, sometimes you just have this infantry units that just cannot do anything. But in this case, the Irish units, they're doing quite alright, aren't they? And that is going to be it for the Northumbrians. They do not want to bring on their reinforcements, which consist of basically just 1 unit of peasants and just something else. So, yeah. After seeing their general either die or get captured, I can't quite remember, that's going to be it for the Northumbrians. Well, that wasn't too shabby, was it? I mean, that was a bit of a surprise, and yeah, how did my ballista do? Yeah, this ballista killed 3 men. And can I see the other ballista crews down here killed 1 man? Yeah, not good, not good at all. Although if any of those kills was against the Royal Bodyguards, then it may have been worth it. I don't know. I definitely felt the need for a few units on my right flank to help shore that up because, yeah, I definitely was getting a little bit wrapped up there, but it was just kind of fun to try that out. And, I was able to pull it off, although, albeit it was a little bit precarious in some situations. I was getting a little bit thin on my left flank, and luckily I was able to kill the enemy general, and that allowed me to break the enemy. So yeah, if the ballistas helped me at all in killing the enemy general, then it might have been worth it. But I think just in general having all of my javelins and darts being thrown in that direction really helped out a lot. and having my armored spearmen hold in that direction as well helped. Having my own general last to, basically 11 men in his unit and have him hold strong, that was important as well. He could have died and he did not. So thank goodness. Yeah, that was decent, I think, all considered. That was pretty okay. Also, look at that Irish army. Even the foot-based guys do really well at running down the enemy army. That's really impressive. I mean, the fact that obviously having my cav do the job is good, but having my own light infantry be able to run down the enemy is like really, really helpful. So yeah, good stuff. I was pretty happy with that one. So hopefully the other factions do not dogpile in on me. Ransom refused. So yeah, 460 men have just been killed, including their noblemen. Another princess of mine has retired. And yes, the Viking leader has died from an illness. So they have another one. And yeah, Lord Eilil is now a second-rank general. I will need to sort of refit his unit so he's up to strength again. And Clwyd is now a copper mine complex. Fortified village is finished here in Defet. And famine in Gwent. Yeah, unfortunately, income has been halved here. And the Welsh and I are back to being friends. So yeah, I have both of my guys married now to Welsh princesses. And Lord Tog is now estranged, -1 morale. That's not good. I hope he is not an important general. I don't think he is. Although -10 happiness is also not good if he's a governor. So yeah, the Northumbrians are now quite a bit weak. And yeah, hopefully the Mercians don't view this as an opportunity to dogpile in on me. They do have quite the forces here, so I will need to reinforce Clwyd as soon as possible. I do have a handful of units that I can't send that way. Well, if I just bring all available reinforcements on over to Clwyd, including taking essentially my entire standing army here in Ireland over as well, that does help shore things up here in Clwyd, and that leaves Ireland with just essentially my nobles, my king and one of his brothers, I believe, Neil MacArt. Only one loyalty on him, so I want to keep him right next to my king, which is kind of unfortunate. But then even his brother as well, Prince Donald, 3 loyalties, so not great. I want to keep him nearby. And it's tempting to send these guys off to, help fight on this front, but I do want to keep my king around my core Irish provinces just to make sure that if he does get cut off from his provinces, then there will be a loyalty hit on these provinces. So yeah, that would not be ideal for sure. That'd be a little bit scary. So I think I want to keep him here at least for now, and hopefully these new reinforcements on my new front can help out. I don't think that I'm in a position to go on the offensive against the Northumbrians, especially because I want to wait and see what the Mercians do. If they attack me, then I need to really try to hold this line. And if they, try to actually go after the Northumbrians, then that can help me out. That can kind of stretch them thin a little bit. And they are still fighting against the Saxons, of course. And it looks like they're doing pretty well for sure. But yeah, the fact that they have these 4 armies here in Rock and Satan is pretty nerve-wracking. And that can attack Clwyd or Puce. Or Puis. So I do need to keep training units so that it can try to hold this line. I'm training units from quite a few provinces, so I feel like I should be able to get up there, hopefully sooner rather than later. And it's going to be pretty nerve-wracking to see what happens in the meantime. But hopefully it's not going to be too much longer before I can go on the offensive. Against who? I don't know. I probably do want to get a ceasefire with the Northumbrians before I attack the Mercians, because I do intend to attack them still. They just seem strong, and I don't want to attack a weaker faction while this strong one still remains. But that is all going to have to wait until next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you very much for watching. This has been Constep playing Medieval Total War, Vikings Invasion. Thank you very much, and goodbye.